hi. This could only go well, can't it? I'm sure that by looking at the title of this video, you may be preparing yourself for the worst, and I hope that is not the case. This may send you back to 2018, or I guess maybe back to 2023. Me and Thogden has a interesting history, I must say. One which I still want to be resolved. And this isn't even specifically with Thogden himself or Theo himself, but more specifically with his father. I think I need to give some backstory into this because I still want to make something very clear here, which I think is very important. I think Theo, from where he was 2 years ago, has come a long way. And I think he has matured, mellowed out, for the better in my opinion. Now that may be not what you want to hear from this, however, I need to say it instantly because very fast, this could get really bad. The purpose of this video is for two things. Number one, I felt like talking about it, and number two, I keep getting people talking about it. Now, me and Theo have known each other for a long time. Could go back to 2015-16. Now, this goes back to vlogs. Now, the typical idea of a vlogging matches, by no means did I create. I would say that I was one of the more, first kind of people that kind of made it a series on my channel, and Theo, of course, was in the FIFA kind of world, and he began doing vlogs as well, going to Bolton games, etc. When I was also doing my videos, my vlogs, going to Burnley games. And Theo, who I've talked to before and how we met before, even told me that, he kind of not was inspired by me, but when he saw me do my things, he felt like it was a good idea to do it as well. Because of the Burnley v Bolton kind of rivalry that we have, it's not really a rivalry, it's more just based on the fact they're in Lancashire, that it made it an interesting little rivalry between us two. I'm the Burnley guy, he's the Bolton guy, and now even my community and his community kind of goes back and forth, and this was the case for years. It all kind of bubbled over back in 2018 where I was doing a diss track on FIFA, on EA Sports. It's stupid, I know, absolutely stupid, I know. And my problem is that I actually think that song slapped. Look back on my FIFA diss track back in FIFA 19, and it's actually not that bad. Considering what it could be, I would say it's a solid, in terms of genuine YouTube diss tracks, a solid 6 as a minimum. During this time period, I was on Twitter and I was doing some tweets back and forth about me doing this diss track about FIFA. Theo repeatedly kept on replying back to these saying, do a diss track on me, do a diss track on me, whatever else. And we had some stupid Twitter back and forth. I replied back with something and then he ends up deleting it, and then I say 1-0, then it happens again, and then I say 2-0. It's stupid, which is then why he did a diss track on me about a couple weeks later, labelled 3-2. I'm going to play only a small part of my reaction to the diss track now, just to give some context into it.
Burnley are shit. Next year we'll see you in the championship. You made it into Europe and you didn't do bits. You just became the first team to leave it. You went to Aberdeen to just get roasted. Crispy pancake face, Scottish Twitter exploded. You worked at McDonald's for 2.5 years to serve me a Big Mac and fries. Cheers.
Yeah, that was me. What was that? 7 years ago? I think we can all say that I definitely look better now. Now, the diss track itself was harmless. He could be a fat guy from Harry Potter and I worked at McDonald's. That was pretty much it. I didn't bother replying back because I thought it was stupid, and it's still stupid, and part of me still cringes to this day about it. And I don't know if Theo feels the same. I've never met Theo since this point. I met Theo at the FBAs, I think it's now called the FCAs, back in, I want to say 2017, which was before the diss track even happened. I met him, I met his dad. His dad actually bought me a pint. Now, this is when I get more into his dad, Thogden, or Stephen, that's his actual name. 3 years later, I did a video about Thogden, actually defending him. At a time period, this was after the FIFA World Cup, and Thogden, especially on Twitter, football Twitter, got a lot of, and I mean a lot of stick. Way too much than what I thought was actually deserved. And at this time period, I was doing my new videos on my channel, and I felt like, you know what? Let's actually give him some defense here, because he wasn't getting any. And even despite our dumb little battles in the past or whatever, as a person, I think Theo's actually not a bad kid. He's not a bad lad. You may not like him, therefore his kind of outgoing, kind of in-your-face persona that he puts online. But keep in mind, You can't compare him to an Ellis Awaydays or to a Neve Stumpeg. You can't compare because he is clearly much more leaning more towards a younger audience. Hence why he did all the streaming stuff and all the other things he did around it. Hence why it's edited in the way that it is. It is for a younger audience. That does make him more kind of brand heavy as well. And it's all part of the plan. It makes sense and he's done very well with it. I want to defend him because I saw him getting abused by every single angle. And if you look back in that video, my video with, why Thogden became the most hated football YouTuber, the title and the thumbnail may look pretty demeaning. That's because, in my opinion, I think he's the most hated football YouTuber. And I think to this day now, even though I think it's definitely torn down, and I think people are not on his case too much, there is still this idea that he is like the meme of the football community. He is seen as some kind of bag to be beaten by a stick every now and then. Theo himself had no issue with his video. I talked to him through DMs afterwards, and he said it was a great video. His father, otherwise, had different ideas. If you are not aware, Thogden's dad DM'd me on Twitter and gave me a multiple amount of questions which I thought was absolutely absurd. And to this day, 2 years later, it's still more baffling the more I think about it. I indeed did a video replying back to Thogdad because I felt like it was necessary, because he didn't just question my content, my meaning behind it, but also my integrity as a father. As one of those questions was him questioning me being a role model to my children. Well, at that time was only one. Now I've got 2 kids. I get busy, of course. So question 3. Do you regret quoting a Twitter troll that wanted Theo murdered in Qatar? Now, of course, this is early in the video, which I was simply adding context to the title and the actual concept of the video, in which I perceive Thogden as the most hated football YouTuber. So, of course, when you're making a video like that, you've got to contextualize it and show proof, show people's opinions on the person involved in the video, which of course is Thogden. Of course, it's absolutely disgusting and I do not condone that in any way. I don't think I need to really say that I don't believe that's what I want to happen. As you say in question 4, you add, are you projecting your own feelings about Theo by quoting this tweet? The tweet involved is about Theo being murdered and beheaded. I got to really emphasize this because, I don't think I need to, but I don't want Thogden dead. It's simply me just quoting a tweet. I didn't add anything to it. I just said it to add context to the concept of the video. By no means do I actually want Theo to get beheaded and his head being fed to a camel. I didn't think I needed to say this. That video 2 years ago, I've not spoke a single word to Theo, nor have I spoke a single word to Thogdad. And the only thing I ever heard was from people from within the scene that told me about what was kind of going on, and even recently as well. Thogdad still doesn't like me. He still hates me, and he thinks that I've been disrespecting his son. This still baffles me, as if he actually did watch that video, which he didn't, and went crazy about, he would understand I was still defending him, and I am still defending him now. A video was put up by a lad called Torbs about 6 months ago about the problem with Thogden, which I had a look at as well because I feel like it was interesting. And most things in there I feel like either was things already covered before in the past, such as the glove stealing incident, or his kind of attitude around certain matches. Of course, critiques about him during the Qatar World Cup, about him about going to multiple games in one day, or the fact he was even paid by Qatar in the first place to go to these games. My only one statement back to that is, if you was paid by the Qatar, like by the World Cup, to go to every single game, how many of you would say no? I'm deadly serious. Let's be honest here, most of you won't. I know I wouldn't. And then that video went in about ego, about the fact he name drops a lot, and it becomes a part of his personality as well that feels like it's more show-offish. Again, I can get that. Looking at his channel now, it is a bit interesting because he's not really uploaded too much. That could maybe play a factor of why he's getting less kind of heat online as he used to. As for example, he's not done a video going to the Champions League final, which is fascinating, only doing 1 Video Club World Cup. I mean, 8 videos in 5 months is quite heavy. Even on his Instagram, he doesn't really post much either. So it's kind of hard to really tell what he's really doing right now. And on top of that, the last time he posted on Twitter, which is a platform that doesn't really like him much, so it makes complete sense, was January. 6 months ago. So maybe we need to find out where is Theo. But yeah, the point of the video is an update on Theo, my thoughts on him. I still think he's a decent lad. He may not be everyone's cup of tea. He may be in your face, but keep in mind, he is reaching out to much more of a younger audience. So again, I don't think he could compare. I don't think he can be particularly compared to Edison Waydays or Neve Stumpeg, because I think even though they are in the same space, of course, it's different ways of frying an egg. But I'll end off with this. Thogden. I hope you actually watched this time. Let's kiss and make up, okay? Because I don't like it when people in the scene have some issue with me and I can't talk to them about it. And especially with this situation, if I've actually done something wrong, then it would make sense. But in this situation, I genuinely haven't. So I would love it in a world where we can actually have a conversation. So that is my open invitation to you, my friend. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Theo, come back, mate. I'm still stunned how you didn't do a video about the Champions League final. I hope your well-being is okay. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. See ya.